Google is a search engine launched in 1997 by two Stanford students, Larry Page and Sergey Brin. For 2 years, these students worked on an advanced method for finding information on the internet. Since the creation of Google, the company is already worth $400 billion. This makes Google one of the most valuable brands in the world. Google has also developed much further than just a search engine. Today you can navigate, mail, watch videos, upload your videos, read the news, translate other languages, and much more. Google has 3.5 billion searches a day, the most popular search engine in the world. Yes, this is great, but imagine how interesting it is for the employees who work for Google. They work all over the world, but now they'll get a new office space in London. Quite impressive, right? But it seems that you're interested in more of these facts about Google's new UK headquarters. Don't worry, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Future Lore channel. If you may not be familiar with all the details of Google's new hub in London, now you will find out because that's exactly what we're talking about today. For more content like this, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification to be notified when new content is online. It's time to start. Here we go. A lunchtime basketball game, a walk around the rooftop exercise trail, or 40 winks in a nap pod. Those are just some of the workplace perks that are a step closer for Google's London employees in what will be their new home. Wedged between and towering over the capital's King's Cross and St. Pancras railway stations, the main structural works of Google's new office building are complete. The facade is also taking shape as the metal frame is being filled in with giant panels of glass and panels of wood. Dominating the King's Cross area just south of the Regent's Canal, the landscraper is 72 meters tall at its highest point and stretches to 330 meters, making it longer than the 310-meter Shard skyscraper is tall. The ground was first broken on the landscraper project in 2017, and Google now calls the building a show of confidence in the return to office work after the pandemic, although others have described the $1 billion project as the embodiment of the pre-COVID world of work. As those attending the ceremony sipped non-alcoholic Pims and nibbled on canopies, the building's final steel beam was signed by Harris and others, including the London Mayor Sadiq Khan and the local MP Keir Starmer. It was then raised into place by a crane, one of 6 still working on the 92,000 square meter building. Google is not expected to move into the 11-story building, which was designed in the studios of Thomas Heatherwick and the Danish architect Bjarke Ingels, until sometime in 2024. When that working day comes, 4,000 staff will commute to their desks there, taking advantage of amenities including a 25-meter swimming pool on the 9th floor and a Muga, multi-use games area, where Googlers will be able to play basketball, five-a-side football, or tennis. There will also be a rooftop garden. About 40,000 tons of soil will be transported to the rooftop garden, which stretches along the length of the building and in which 250 trees will be planted. The landscraper will also include a community space for use by residents, as well as ground floor retail units, some of which it says it will rent out to small and emerging British brands. 4/5 of the building is hung from its steel frame, meaning there are no internal weight-bearing pillars or columns inside, giving the company a large open plan and flexible space on each floor. A single continuous suspended staircase runs from the ground floor to the top of the building, which the company says is designed to encourage interaction between employees. Google thinks there is a huge value in making sure they get that time together. The spontaneous nature of how people work and collaborate delivers a richness that's difficult to do just through video conference. Not all of Google's UK staff will be based at that flagship office building, as it will not have the capacity. Google employs about 6,400 people in the UK and has set itself a target of 10,000. Its staff is currently based at 2 nearby rented buildings in King's Cross and in the central St. Giles development near Oxford Street in the center of the capital. In January, Google announced a $1 billion deal to buy the brightly colored central St. Giles development, designed by the architect Renzo Piano. Before the purchase, the company was already renting office space at the site, which is also home to more than 100 residential apartments, as well as ground floor restaurants and cafes. The firm's commitment to office buildings comes at a time when many big companies are still weighing up how much and what kind of space they will need after COVID. Perhaps surprisingly, Google, like many other global tech firms, has decided not to embrace remote working fully after the pandemic, opting instead for a hybrid approach. Google's chief executive Sundar Pichai announced last year that the company's post-COVID working policy would see most staff spending 3 days in the office and 2 days wherever they work best. 20% of Google's global workforce will work permanently from home. The Landscraper project was first conceived long before the pandemic, yet Google insists that owning the building and the Central St. Giles development will allow it to adapt the space for its future needs. We believe that the employees of the Google company will be delighted with the new office space, but also with the lounges for socializing and playing. After these new headquarters in London, perhaps the majority of employees will still decide to work from home as before the COVID pandemic. Why not? Everything is amazing. Well, we're waiting for your likes and shares. Also, make sure to subscribe and press the bell so you don't miss more videos like this. Please write your comments in the section below because we'll be so happy to read them. Even if you have any suggestions or criticism, please feel free. We hope you enjoyed today's video and you're looking forward to the next one. Thanks for your attention, and we'll see you again soon.